Okay, so story time. Story time, man. I want to basically just share some. I guess it ain't even really a story, but I how do I even open this up, bro? um, so maybe you don't know, but if you've been watching my channel for a while, then you know I got my company AddressMe, which is a mobile app, like an app that any other app like Instagram, TikTok, whatever the case may be. It's a social connection tool though. The point of, and it's called Address Me, and the point of my app is to avoid the vulnerability and uncertainty of having to put yourself out there when you cross paths with people, and actually have to just put yourself out there and approach people to um, meet and connect with them. So um, it's basically a way to, here we go. Let me just explain it. I wasn't even trying to get into this aspect. I'm just trying to tell my story. But since I'm speaking on Address Me right now, it's like a filter in the software of the app. Y'all might not even understand this. Hopefully, y'all do. The app has a filter in it that puts people into searchable terms based on three visible things that you can look at anybody and easily identify these three things about them and enter those things into um, the filter on the app and put the distance that the person is standing away from you, whether it's like 10 feet, 15 feet, or whatever. Everybody in that distance from you that matches what you put into the filter will show up on the app, and from there it's like a back and forth. um Let me just run y'all through the whole. Okay, so every once you enter that and you put it to that radius or that distance, and everybody in that distance, as long as they are also on the app, if they have the app downloaded on their phone, they will show up on your in the app. From there you can click on the person that that you want to connect with, but you don't necessarily want to walk up to them and speak to them and approach them for whatever reason. A lot of times it could be like I don't know, just the circumstances just are not friendly for you to be able to approach that person. Maybe they with other people. Maybe you um, not really just, I don't know, it could be a bunch of things. My personal experience, and this is why it's story time, with it is that me being fluid, I would cross paths with guys a lot of times um, who caught my attention, and I caught that. Like I could tell, cause I could pick up on people's energy for real. Like I said, I'm a, I don't know, like I I'm a I'm a deeply spiritual person for real, and plus I was a police officer for like 7 years, so I could pick up on people's energy and like what people feel for real. So I could tell like when somebody is like when the feeling is kind of mutual, you feel me? But at the same time, it's always that flicker of doubt in the back of your mind where you like, bro, I'm not finna throw myself under this bus like this. You feel me? Like, so you end up missing connections. So that was my personal experience, mainly, and why I decided, or how I came up with the idea to come up with the app Address Me. But anyway, like I was saying, so for whatever reason that you come across somebody and you can't, like the circumstances in that moment are not friendly for you to be able to approach them and speak to them to connect, you can go on to Address Me. As long as they also have Address Me on download or on their phone, you can go to the filter, put that information in, and once they pop up, You can click on their profile, but it won't automatically be their actual like full profile for privacy and safety reasons, right? Because we got to make sure it's safe. So what you will see instead is what I call, or what is called, their first impression. It's not their full profile, but it's like a page with their photo and some questions that you would typically ask somebody when you first meet them, like what's your zodiac sign, uh, 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 do you stay, like, do you live in this area, or like are you from a different state, what's your hometown, like stuff like that, like stuff you would ask somebody when you first meet them, for real. So from there you can either grab that profile and hold on to it so that when you get away from this person, you back in your own space, you comfortable, like wherever, you can shoot them a connection request then, or you can shoot them one right then in the spot. If you bold, for real, that's something I would probably do. If you bold, you can send them a connection request right there on the spot. Like, you see the request and pop up and look around, see you looking like, what's up? You feel me? But a lot of folks might opt to just hold on to that profile and send them a connection request when they out of that person's space. But once they get your request, they can see your first impression and see your picture and the questions, the icebreaker questions that that you have on your first impression too, and they can decide, oh yeah, this person seems smooth, we can connect, or they can reject your connection request. That's the same thing with any social network. Like, but anyway, if they decide to accept the connection request, then y'all can see each other's full profiles and be able to interact and network and get to know each other better and meet, this, like, mutually decide to meet face to face at a later time. So essentially, you can meet people that you cross paths with as long as they have AddressMe on their phone. As long as they have AddressMe on their phone too, without having to physically walk up and throw yourself under the bus out there in a moment and approach these people. You see what I'm saying? So you can start connecting with people that's local to you in your local community that you cross paths with, and make these connections like that. And the way I like to explain, because I like to break it down too like this, to give people a view of how it actually is, like a safe way to go about meeting new people, a safer way really than having people approach you face to face in person, even, for real, because you don't know who these people are really approaching you. And if you get a chance to connect with them first virtually and get to know who they are for real before y'all meet in person and have y'all first in-person conversation, that's actually a much safer way to get to know people. But I like to break it down for folks like this. We have ride share services like Uber and Lyft and other ride share services where we jump in cars with strangers and we invite strangers into our cars, and these people take us to personal, private destinations, to our homes. If we on vacation, they taking us to our hotels or our villas or wherever we at, like seeing where we staying at. And then we have home rental services like Airbnb, and I know some more of them out there. I'm not too sure like of names, or we actually invite paying strangers into our homes, for real. But AddressMe is like first base compared to third base with the rideshare services and home plate already taking place in the world, or we are actually already inviting strangers into our home. Like, AddressMe is allowing people to be able to connect with the strangers and get to know them online, network, and get to know each other better before meeting these people in person, before inviting them into our cars and into our homes. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at it and you break it down and you look at it from that perspective, AddressMe is a lot safer than a lot of what's already taking place in the world. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, with that being said, that's AddressMe. Now let me get into my story of why I came up with or decided to come up with the idea for AddressMe. And like I said, it stemmed from a lot of times, like me crossing paths with guys that, bruh, you, and I ain't gonna lie, like sometimes, like I, if I'm feeling like if I'm feeling real bold, and I gotta be, bruh, I gotta be like 90 to 95% certain that a person rock like that to even feel comfortable approaching them. Like, it ain't just gonna be like, no, oh, 50%, like 50-50. I don't know, I can't really tell. Like, nah, I'm not. Like, I gotta be damn near like sure before I like approach somebody. But I have done it. Like, I have just approached dudes like, yo, what's good? Like, what you got going on? Like, what you getting into? Or whatever, just like getting into conversation. I've had dudes approach me like, um conversations. Like, I know one incident. Some dude, I was at work, and a lot of it happened at work too. And that's another thing. A lot of folks be seeing people when they're at their job, that they want to connect with, but a lot of folks don't be wanting people to know like where they work at for real. Like, so that might be another instance where you might get on the AddressMe and see if they on the app and shoot them a connection request later on when you off work or whatever the case may be. Um, but a lot of it, like a lot of times, a lot of misconnections that I would have would be like when I was at work, and I had to do it one time. Came up to me, um, and started asking me about my beard, like. I guess he was asking me like what kind of oil I use for my beard and if I want to play basketball and all this other stuff. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? Like, I don't know. I kind of like figured like what he was getting at, but I was at work, right? Like, so I wasn't really on it like that. I wasn't really trying to. And his friend was standing at the door like, bro, come on, bro. Like, you tripping. Like, leave this man alone. um, But yeah, somebody like I've had, and then another one, bro. And the only reason, like, never mind. Yeah, another one. Like sometimes, like folks will come up to you like they the plug, like, bro, you smoke, or like they like try to like get your info like that way. And sometimes you like there have been instances where like you can hit somebody up and be like trying to cop something. They're like, oh, now I'm gonna put you on, like I'm put you on with my plug or whatever the case may be. But I'm just trying to see what's good with you. Like these folks, like you not even a plug, bro. You asking folks if they smoke, like just to get their info. Like you not even a plug for real. You gonna put them on with your plug, but you just want to get this person information. Like so, that's another thing that be going on. But anyway, um, it's a lot of different things that like for how folks approach people. And like I said, I ain't never approached nobody on like no um on like no uh 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 no scam ulterior motive junk, like I'm trying to like be a plug, or like I'm trying to like I just approach people like genuinely straight up, like um yo, what's good with you? Like let me get your info. Chop it up with you or whatever the case may be. But it be certain instances, bro, and it be certain scenarios and like where it be folks where you like, bruh, like, damn, like who is this? Like, who is that? You feel me? Like, but you be, I don't know, you be like, you don't be sure enough. I don't be sure enough. Like I said, for me to approach somebody, I gotta be like 90 to 95% sure. But if it's like, like 10%, not even 10%, whatever the case, like, but you, like, your soul be screaming, like, bro, like, damn, bro, like, but your body be like, nah, bro, like, your body be like, bro, nah, hell nah, you feel me? Um, Situations like that is when AddressMe, when AddressMe would have like been ideal, like for me or whatever the case may be. Um, but like I said, I have reached out to folks and connected with people, and like it jumped off. And then I have had situations where I reached out to folks, where I connected with folks. Like I did end up getting the info, um, and actually when we ended up speaking, it was like, oh nah, this ain't that. You feel me? Like so, I've had that happen as well. Um, But again, like the whole purpose and point of AddressMe is to be able to avoid the whole aspect of having to throw yourself out there in a moment and having to sit there and wrestle with your soul. Like, damn, bro. Like, damn, I want to go talk to this person, but your body just not going. Like, your body is like, bruh, like, nah, bruh, nah. So AddressMe is about getting avoiding that whole uh, 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 internal fight. It's about bypassing that whole internal battle that you deal with in those instances where you see somebody you want to connect with, but your body is like, bro, if you don't sit your ass down, boy, um, yeah, that's what gave me the idea to come up with AddressMe. But like I said, it really can um help you to make connections in all types of scenarios. Mm. In all types of situations and scenarios for real. Um I could run down all the different scenarios, but folks know like even one scenario I like to give is like if somebody is like if you on a bus and you see somebody crossing the street or standing at the crosswalk trying to get ready to cross the street, you at the red light or something, I don't know, like whatever the case may be, and this person catches your attention, instead of getting off the bus to go chase this person down and waiting on the next bus, like you could go on AddressMe, and if they are also on AddressMe, you can connect with that person without ever having to get off the bus and approach that person. Like it could be because of physical barriers are keeping you from being able to approach people. And like I said, it could be that people are with other folks, and especially with attractive people, like when they be with other people, like those people be hawking. Like I don't know if it's just like a um I don't know, but they be sticking to attractive people like glue, boy. Um, they follow them all over the place. Like they like they'll never get along. They will never get along. It's always that one friend or them two friends that's following them around everywhere that they go. You be like, God, damn, this person walking, like, can they get like 2 minutes to themselves, bruh? Like, but nah, folks be sticking to these attractive people like glue. Um, and oh yeah, another incident that happened at my job was it was these two dudes that used to come in there, and I believe that they was a couple, because they would always come in there together and they would always walk around together, um, and I mean, like I was at least 90% sure like about both of them. You feel me? But one of them, and and I'm not a home wrecker. I'm not a home wrecker by any stretch. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I respect people's situations and people's relationships and all of that. But one of them was feeling me. You feel me? Um, And they ended up like they came in to the store one time, and I could see that he was looking at his dude like trying to prompt him like, come on, let's go chop it up with bro. I guess like on some freaky junk or whatever the case may be. But the other one was like, you could tell that he was in his feelings, like, bro, like really just. And that's not to say that I was gonna go for the situation. I'm just telling like what happened. You feel me? So yeah, I could tell like bro was like, come on, like let's go chop it over, bro. And then the other one was like, nah, you know, folks be getting in their feelings. Folks be getting in their feelings, boy. But yeah, that's another situation in the incident that happened. But yeah, and this might be, bruh. To be honest, I feel like in order to have experience this problem at and this might sound like kind of obnoxious or cocky or whatever the case may be, but I'm not saying it to be cocky. Like, I'm just really like just putting this out there just because it's something that I want to say. I feel like it needs to be said. But I feel like the problem of missing connections like that is really mainly, you know what? I can't even really say that. So I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, them just some scenarios that I have experienced. About why I came up with the idea for AddressMe, and like some of the struggles and the challenges that I have underwent, and that I know other people experience and go through. So yeah, I just wanted to speak on that, man. Be safe today, stay out the way, take everything one step at a time, one day at a time. Focus on finding yourself and finding your purpose. I love you, King V, H&R.